It's about 7:50 in the AM. We're at Exhibition Station. Met up with Amanda and Lion. We're gonna take the GO train to go visit the family for Thanksgiving. Rained a little bit earlier, but luckily I didn't get wet when I biked to the station. Now we're in Oshawa, and my mom picked us up, and we drove to the Tim Hortons, where I got a 4-cheese bagel and cream cheese, so it's like a 5-cheese bagel. Thanks, Lion. That was a good bagel. Now we're driving through Coburg, where they're having a street festival. And I think that this street festival has something to do with corn. Mostly because on these trees there's a bunch of corn stalks. So corn is maybe involved in this street festival. Some square dance. That's nice, right? People throwing axes. Walking through this town, it makes me feel like in a video game where it's a small town. It's like a Stardew Valley kind of thing. Oh, this dog was really cute. And yeah, this guy's carving up some animals from logs. He seems to like to do all of his carvings in that same pose. But it's still pretty good. We got apple cider from the farmer's market. And then we're driving to Brighton. We stop at my mom's house and see her dogs. One of them is still pink. And then we made this apple and yam dish that we're gonna bring for dinner. And we had avocado toast as like a snack before dinner, because it's gonna be a while before we actually eat. This is where I let that caterpillar go, but I couldn't find a cocoon, so I assume it's probably dead by now, so that's too bad. Take the dogs for a quick walk, and across the ways I saw a monarch butterfly. Monarchs are nice, but it flew away before I could film it nice. Here's a fuzzy caterpillar. It's like, wow, history repeats itself. Where I find a caterpillar on a driveway, and then I move it somewhere that's not a driveway, and hopefully it'll be alright in this bush. Yeah, but who knows? Maybe it won't be alright. Like this mole that I found in the driveway. Dead. That's a bummer. Why weren't you just underground? You could have avoided that. Whatever got you. Now we're at my dad's house, and Ella's there, and she's happy to see everybody. Like a good dog. This is the turkey that Patty cooked. It's 22 pounds. Man, that's a big turkey. Here's Ella. Man, Ella's such a good dog. Look at that dog. So, when we were young, we met these acrobats at a beach, and they showed us how to stand on each other's shoulders. And I was young when they showed us this, so I was usually standing on someone else's shoulders. But here we are. Me, I'm the base now. It felt super shaky and dangerous, but we're sort of doing it.
Is this what it's like to be the ground? This is terrible.
Yeah, cheerleading. Okay. When you're on the ball.
Hey, you did it.
Now my turn.
Okay.
What?
He's
Yeah,
going
no,
on
it's okay. You're gonna like it.
Okay.
Alan,
Chris is heavy.
Is this
Chris is
okay?
heavy.
He doesn't look heavy, but
Is
Chris
this
is
okay?
heavy.
Of course he is. He's tense muscle.
Oh god! I can feel your back bending, and I was like, I don't think this is okay.
But you did well, I think.
Now let's do a jump.
Okay.
And Chris's ankle rolls.
Want to try running?
No.
No? Okay.
No. Handstand.
Wait, I don't know what that is.
You put my hands on your hands,
Okay.
and then I press up. And
Oh my god, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this.
Okay, jumping down. Ready? 1, 2, whoop.
Then Chris showed us the garden that he and Patty are working on. That's a zucchini plant with the flowers here. That's kind of neat, right? Zucchinis. Now Matt and Megan are pulling in. It was we're kind of surprised that they were able to make it, but I guess since the car to go thing is convenient, they came for dinner. And yeah, that's my first plate of Thanksgiving. Third plate. Man, Thanksgiving, so great. I always feel super full. And that's me, my graduation picture from high school. How the times have changed. But yeah, dinner, that was so good. Now we're all outside digesting, hanging out, and we're gonna play some Pictionary. And we played Pictionary for at least an hour, I'd say. It's fun to watch my dad do the drawing sometimes.
Maybe we're getting hung up on
'Cause
fish.
he draws it pretty literally most of the time.
But yes, this one, yes.
If you know what he's drawing, it does make sense. And he is drawing like accurately what he wants to draw. But when we're trying to guess what it is, it's like I don't know what it could be other than what it just like looks like. It's hard to describe, but it's a good time. The sunsets, primo. And then we had dessert. It was a good Thanksgiving. Now, this is Sunday morning. I'm playing with Lenny. Lenny's kind of a dummy, but he's a good dog. Sometimes. Sometimes he's a good dog. Here's some mushrooms and onions. We got some wild rice going. Some salmon in the oven. I'm a little bit concerned that the rice is going to be too watery because I put in a 2-to-1 ratio of water to rice. But you know what? I think it turned out fine. Nobody was like, oh, this rice is gross. And when I asked my sister about it later, she's like, yeah, it was fine. And like, yeah, it's like a good rice kind of way. But yeah, we made all that brunch food and we took it over to my mom's friend's house, Marianne. And she has this cat, Winston. And Winston's one of those cats where it's like a danger cat, you know? You're never sure if it's like okay to pet him. Oh, that's Diane. I think she watches Angel's Quest. So hi, Diane. And yeah, this cat, you never know what he's gonna do. But Chris is feeding him catnip anyways. It's like, oh god. But they're okay. It's just, you know, he's just showing you what he could do to you. At least that's how Chris explained it. But yeah, I think once the catnip started to kick in, he seemed pretty mellow and into just rubbing up against stuff. So rub against this dog, rub against that dog. Maybe you won't mind if people pet him. Rub against this person. Then we had this apple crumble. Oh man. This was a weekend of a lot of apple pie and ice cream. Yeah. People playing backgammon. But we're like, it's time to go back to Toronto. Say goodbye to Ella one more time. Man, Ella, what a great dog. We're on the 401. Go back to the Oshawa GO station. And we're here with 20 minutes to spare, because this train just sort of sits here for 20 minutes until another train comes and then it leaves. So we hung out on the train for a bit. That would be a nice ride a bike along here. Now that we're back in Toronto, I remember that I've forgotten my black jacket at my mom's house. So that's a bummer. I bike home and I make a yam and apple dish. And I'm going over to Dandy's apartment where she's hosting a Thanksgiving dinner. Mostly for her friends that don't have family that they can visit easily. So, yeah. Second Thanksgiving. I got to carve the turkey. Again, this turkey was really good. Pretty much all turkeys, really good. Yeah. It was a good Thanksgiving dinner. Number 2. And also that apple pie. Again, lots of apple pie. That's Josh in the middle there. He broke a glass. But he's, he's funny. Oh, and that cutting board that we cut the turkey on, a bunch of juice spilled down that crack. So we pulled out the oven, and then we're like, oh man, this is like years of stuff spilling down the crack that is in here. But Arthur's a nice guy, and he cleaned it up a bit. So there you go, Dandy. Then we're playing some Jenga here, and I think some of these guys are drunk, so they're not playing smartest exactly. But it's funny to watch, it's trying to at the very beginning he sets up the rules as you can only use one hand, and if you touch a piece, that's the piece you gotta move. And then, I don't know, we all cheated a little bit, I think, because it's not as much fun if you play like that. I like to play it where you can just touch as many pieces as you want and just take all the easy ones. That way the tower gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Whereas this, it's like they're forced to go for this piece, and it's a bad piece to go for. Oh my god. So yeah, that was good, Jenga. This is more mooncake, but this time it's homemade, even though it looks like it's so professionally made. It is mooncake time. Yeah, I take a bite into it and I'm like, wow, it is a lot like the other mooncake, but this one has red bean filling, and you know what? It was good. How was it? It's good.